Hey everyone, welcome back to the Union Pacific Railroad Evanston subdivision in HO Scale. My name is Daryl Cruz, owner and builder of the layout, and your host for a special unboxing of some new locomotives and a new signal bridge. We'll be covering some locomotives that are much smaller than what I've had in the past. These are going to be MP15DCs by Atlas. So first time for a locomotive from Atlas and first time for a non three-axle truck diesel. This is a small diesel with two BB trucks, or two B trucks, I should say. And this is a package I got from Lombard Hobbies. Ordered it one day, had it in the house in a couple days. And I got, of course, the best price from Lombard Hobbies and the fruit snack. And don't like to look at that too much money. Actually, it was very inexpensive. The locomotives were only $204. And got a signal bridge here, also from Atlas. This was only $89, I believe. Yep, 89, pretty much 90 bucks, which is also a good price. You basically got three signals. If you bought those three signals separately, it would have been over $100 easy, because they're like 35 bucks each. And here's the packaging for the brand new MP15DCs. Now, I think Atlas has had these out numerous times. I think their first one came out, I don't know how long ago, but I saw reviews. It does have the Locksound 5, I think it is. Shows all the features. But anyway, Atlas has had these for quite a while. As I saw a review that was 6 years old, so no, at least 6 years, maybe even more than that. Assuming that they have upgraded them over the years. So this is the gold series. I think you can also get a silver series, which is less expensive. I'm not real sure what all the differences are. I know one thing is, of course, the sound and DCC decoder. So this is, I got two leasing companies. I didn't really want to get a Union Pacific. These are going to go on the UTLX repair facility that has its own switcher, and then also I got one for the Westvaco, which will also have its own switcher. So both of these are going to be leasing companies. This is the LTEX, and you can see the packaging that they have. This is some extra parts taped to the side. There's a couple of plugs for underneath where the screws are, and then some cab sunshades that you have to put on yourself. Doesn't look like that'll be too difficult. And this is a type of packaging where the locomotive is screwed to the underside. So I have to get a screwdriver out and remove the screws. That's what those plugs are for, I think. Once you get the screws out, then you have to put the plugs in there. I'm not sure how important that is. You can't really see underneath the tank when it's on the tracks, but they are there. All right, so it comes off pretty easily. And here you can see the level of detail that you have. Now, these are black trucks, so it's kind of hard to see all the detail on this particular model. You do have the air hoses on the end and some coupler levers there. And the detail on the molded in detail is pretty good. And I like the grills, or wire grills, if I get this in focus, on the top, and then also in the front of the locomotive. There's some pretty good grills. I did have some issue with the handrails here, so I'm not sure exactly how that's gonna fit back on there. I'll have to take a closer look at that, but it was also a little crooked there on that side, so hopefully it won't be too hard. Again, you can see the grills, the wire grills. Those are nicely done. Here you can see the ones in the front. The handrails are very fine. I think they're pretty much to scale. You have the chain going across the top. The MU hoses are kind of stiff looking. But don't have as much detail as the Athearn or scale trains, but they're there. Probably wouldn't take much in the way of paint to add a little bit of extra look to that. Hey, of course, you have the paperwork. Not a lot. You do have the exploded diagrams, which is nice to have. And here's the manual. Not much to go on at all. Basically a paragraph, and then the function buttons, warranty information. So basically you get warranty information, the registration card, exploded view of the parts, and then very small manual front and back is all on a small sheet of paper. Alright, so I also got, along with the LTEX, I also got a FURX. I really like this paint scheme. And then these trucks are definitely easier to see. The FURX came with black trucks and with the gray trucks. I got the one with the gray trucks just because you can see the detail a little bit better. I'm not too worried about the black trucks because when I get around to weathering and everything, the detail will pop out much better. But this paint scheme is pretty nice because the handrails are easier to see. I didn't even notice them that much on the previous, on the LTEX, because they were the same color as the body, but you can definitely see the hand grabs going up the side as we kind of remove this. There's a lot of threads and these screws. You can definitely see the holes where the plugs will go. I think I will put those in. Doesn't hurt. Alright, here you can see the hand grabs there. Since they're in a separate color, you can definitely see them pop out. And then the detail on the trucks you can see. Very nice. Lots of details on that. And the piping also on the side you can see. This has a little bit different horn arrangement than the LTEX. There you can see the piping and so on. Don't have any sand pipes that I can see. Maybe they didn't have that on this locomotive. I don't know. They probably did. And you can see the radiator grills. Very nice. And you can see the MU hoses a little bit better. So they did do a little bit different different parts, locations and so forth on this, on each particular model. Again, with white handrails, you can definitely see those. Windshield wipers, you can see also. They do have windshield wipers on the front and back. Definitely like this paint scheme a little bit, but I think the LTEX will look cool too once it's weathered. So this one here, I think it's going to go at the West Vaco, whereas the LTEX will go on the UTLX. Alright, so here you can see the or hear the startup on the MP15DC from Atlas. This is the ESU Lock Sound 5. I really like the sound of this locomotive. It's going to be a lot of fun switching either Westvaco or UTLX. It's going to be a fun job. This is a pretty cool locomotive. The engine sounds are really interesting. And I like the way ESU has it set for when it revs up and so forth and when it revs down. Very smooth running, slow speed. Smooth is very, very smooth. Definitely excellent running characteristics right out of the box. All right, so this one here, as I said, is going to go at the UTLX. As you can see, it's under construction still. I do have all the turnouts built for it. So there'll be some movement, some switching here, and then some transporting of the tank cars to the Evanston yard, which was just down the road a little bit. So this is going to be a repair facility for UTLX. There'll be a repair shop there with 3 tracks and then a small 3-track yard, a switcher with a switching lead there. And I think everything's, this is going to be a fun operation. Here's the other location. This is Westvaco, which is going to have 2 tracks for loads out and empties in. And then there'll be 3 tracks for loading Trona into covered hoppers, and then also a little bit of a loading facility for tank cars and also for materials coming from box cars. This is the Westvaco, and this is also going to have a switching lead going alongside the main line. So this will also be a pretty interesting switching location. Basically, you'll be taking empties through the loading facility and then putting them in the right spot. All right, here's the signal bridge I got. And this is Granger, where the Pocatella sub. There you can see I have the roll bed down, and actually it's just laying there. But there will be a switch coming out of this control point. I'm going to remove the existing signals and replace it with this signal bridge from Atlas. And there is a big signal bridge like that at Granger for where the Pocatella sub comes in. Here you can see I went ahead and drilled some holes so that we could have this in place. This actually goes in pretty nice. It's got some concrete stands there at the bottom, so I was able to drill a pretty good sized hole so that the wires could go in easily. This has very long wires. Here you can see it compared to their regular signals, and these things are long. So I had kind of an issue of what to do with them hanging down, but was able to get everything hooked up and placed so that you couldn't see the wires. All right, so let's take a look at these things in action. Here we have a couple of trains. One's on the lower level going through Devil's Slide and the Taggart Tunnels. On the upper level, this is Granger Manifest train coming from Aspen and heading eastward towards Granger and Green River. And as you can see, I do have the signal bridge all hooked up. And we do have a yellow indication here. And it does get knocked down to red. Pretty cool. Definitely like that signal bridge. It's a lot higher than their cantilever bridge. I mean, there's like plenty of clearance there. Here we have on the other side of the control point, we'll just have some regular 2 signal head masts. So we're going to have a Pocatello sub coming here at Granger. All right, here we are at the UTLX repair facility, and we'll go ahead and take a look at some very simple operations. As I said, I don't have all the turnouts installed. I do have the 3 tracks for the yard here. So we'll go ahead and take these cars and transport them to the Evanston yard. Now, one thing I noticed right off the bat is that these do not pick up electricity near as well as the big C-truck locomotives, where you have 3 axles in each truck. Much bigger locomotives, lots more weight. These particular turnouts do not have the frogs connected yet. So the frogs right now are dead. And as it went through, I don't know if you can see on the video, but there was a little bit of flickering on the headlight. I do have it right now set for both the front and back lights on. And I have them on no matter which direction the locomotive is traveling. When the lights come on these locomotives, the number boards also come on at the same time. Would have been nice to have them come on separately. As I said, I really like the sound of these engines on the locomotives. These are very small locomotives, but I think they'll be plenty big to handle the amount of cars that they'll be working with at Westvaco and here at UTLX. So here we're coming up on the main line. On our way to the Evanston yard. So on our way to Evanston, we do meet a manifest train. Now that we're on the main line, we turn on the ditch lights. These locomotives have ditch lights in the front and in the back, which is kind of nice. I did leave the ditch lights on directional, so they do go back and forth when you do the directions back and forth. But basically the way the ditch lights are going to work on this particular operation is when it comes on the main line like this, we'll turn the ditch lights on, and then when we get off the main line, the ditch lights will go off. So there won't be much directional movement once we are on the main line. All right, we have red signals here, so we'll have to take a break or wait here till we get the signal. All right, so we did get a flashing red so that we can now come into the yard. Once it's in the yard, it'll set these cars in a particular track and then take other cars back to the UTLX repair facility. So some pretty good additions to the layout. Happy to get the package from Lombard Hobbies, and really looking forward to getting the last remaining track installed. There'll be an update on the track work this Sunday. I might even do a live streaming either tonight or tomorrow night, probably tomorrow night. But thanks so much for watching. Appreciate any comments that you might have. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet. Thanks again. Everybody take care.